You're listening to TF4 Podcast with Marcus.
Probing box. Anal probing.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Cara.
Speaking of being naked and bending over and what kind of access that gets, I think you wanted to talk about aliens today.
Natasha.
All right, I think podcast makes me have to poop, so I gotta go.
And Vox.
I tooted, excuse me.
Vanilla bean, vanilla, and French vanilla. Almost style vanilla is when your fucking ice cream is extra churned.
There's all kinds of different vanilla. There's slow churn.
That's ice cream
That's a different
types.
texture.
That's not flavor.
That's a type. That's not
It's
flavor.
it has a whole different flavor.
No,
What about
vanilla
vanilla
gelato?
Custard. Vanilla froyo.
That's not ice cream.
Those are just styles.
Those are still vanilla flavor.
You're not talking flavors.
There was this really good, like, non-fat vanilla ice cream at Baskin Robbins, and I don't know why it was so good, but it just had.
Is that the one that's
so
dairy free too?
creamy-
Because that one is pretty good.
Yeah.
Cara got that one the one day.
So good. I don't know.
I don't
I don't
remember.
know what they did,
I
but
don't think I've ever been to Baskin Robbins.
They got 31
There's
flavors.
one literally right around the corner.
yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Eh.
When I used to work there, they'd be like, "You can have 3 taster spoons throughout your shift," and I'm like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna have 12."
They making
I'm gonna try this one and this one.
they make a
I'm gonna try these
unicorn
two together.
swirl milkshake and it's phenomenal.
A what?
It's a unicorn sprinkle or something like that. Unicorn something.
Why are you looking at me like I remember this? I don't.
Aren't you the queen of ice cream flavors?
Why? Because I'm
but
fat.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
All right, that's the episode. We're done for the day.
Good night.
I'm just kidding.
My God, no.
That's the first time I think I've dropped that on you guys. I do it to Mark all the time.
Every fucking
She
time,
does that to me
though.
all the time. I
I told
didn't
him
expect
one.
it from you.
I told him one time when I was pulling through the Taco Bell drive-thru, I was ordering for a bunch of people, and I was like, I feel like when I rolled up to the window, they were just like, "Oh, okay."
Wow, how many people is this bitch ordering for? She rolls up. Oh, it's just one.
That is.
That's always the worst when you have a
Awful.
huge order and you're the
You know
only
they're
one that
judging
goes and
you,
picks
too.
it up. You're
That's
like,
fucking terrible.
I remember going for a lunch run when I was working at the spring shop in Almont. I went down to McDonald's, and everyone else wanted fucking Big Macs, and I just wanted like a 10-piece nugget and some fries, right? So I ended up leaving there with fucking 2 10-pieces, two orders of fries, and like 3 Big Macs. And I pull up to the window, and they're like, "You gonna eat all that?" I'm like, yes, that's why I ordered 3 drinks to wash it all down.
Oh,
You caught me.
Jesus. No.
2 Sprites and a lemonade. Yep,
But
all
no,
going down the
I'm
same
picky
hole.
about ice cream. I have like specific flavors that I really like, and then it comes and goes. Like I really like ice cream, and then I don't really give a shit about ice cream. I have to be like in the mood for it.
I've been craving ice cream all summer long.
I'm also the
Same.
type that needs
And-
to
I
be in
feel,
the
wasn't
mood.
that you that we were like talking about going to get ice cream really late one night or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
And you
after we
were
went
pissed.
out to Troy. Yeah, we went out
Yep.
to Troy for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Vox is like, I have to be in the mood. It has to be this temperature outside, and then we can sit in the back of my truck and eat it. And I'm like,
And then if the
we're never
barometric
gonna
pressure's
have
at
the
39.
perfect
Exactly.
temperature.
It's only and when there's a blood moon and there's naked women dancing around a fire. You have to summon my will to eat
all
ice cream.
Screaming,
Only if the
"Black
moon is in the
Black
7th
Phillip."
house of Aquarius.
Listen.
And now here we are, basically the end of summer.
This
And
fucker
Mercury
hasn't
was
made
in
ice cream yet.
retrograde. He couldn't.
Why is it always Mercury in retrograde?
I don't know.
It's the
Bad
thing.
things happen when that happens. I guess.
It's
I don't
Leo
know.
season, bitch. Actually, that's not true. We're in September now.
Although I did just get a new thing
Yeah,
of Blue
so
Moon
it's-
today, and then I realized how much ice cream there is in the fridge. And then I
Yeah.
also remembered that there's a pregnant woman in the house, so it's not me.
Who
by the
hasn't
way.
been
But-
eating it?
I know she's like she's been eating the fuck out of some Reese's Puffs though. She kills.
But
I know. She killed my family-sized box.
That is a very funny statement.
listen,
She's
my
been
parents.
eating
She
the
sent
fuck
me.
out of.
I left my phone at home because I couldn't find it, and we were trying to get over here. Otherwise, I'd show you. But we had this meme she sent me, and it's like the little angry baby that like the post C-section baby where it's got his like arms crossed and he's got a grumpy face on, and it says when you meet the woman who's been feeding you hot Cheetos for the last 9 months.
Oh shit.
And she sent it
That's
to me,
her.
so I like edited over it and said Reese's Puffs instead. She's like, "Oh my god!"
My parents used to buy us Reese's Puffs and give them to the babysitter, and then the babysitter would put it away, and she would feed it to her kids, and then we would get like Special K or something.
I'm pretty sure you told us about this like a long time ago when we were podcasting.
Yeah,
That's fucked
I'm
up.
sure I've talked. She
What
was
a fucking
abusive
monster.
as fuck. She locked us in a room. Yeah, I had nightmares in that house all the time.
There's Tasha's trauma coming to
Yeah.
the forefront here.
I had nightmares where I grew up too.
Welcome to TF4 Podcast,
five whole solid minutes
where
in.
we talk about our past traumas, ice cream,
Trauma bonding.
and honestly, whatever we want.
and
So
comfort foods.
if you're not
comfort foods.
interested, get away.
Well, if they made it this far, I think they're
Yeah,
they're,
well, maybe
they're at
they're-
least hooked.
Maybe they're thinking it's gonna get better, but honestly, it's all downhill from here.
You know what I was?
It's the
thinking,
dumpster
though?
fire.
That's what she said.
Do we need to intro anymore? Like we have an intro, right? It already introduces us.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm Natasha,
Hey, I'm Box.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Kara.
Thought we were going the other direction. My bad.
and this
Got
is
all nervous.
Dateline.
It's always been the same way, and I
It's the
always
same
fuck
way
it up.
every time. No matter
And this
who's
is
leading, it's
60
always
minutes.
the same time. Oh my goodness. So we got. I want to do 2 housekeeping things real quick. Number 1, sound quality, although very good in my opinion. There might be some pops and some little things, and I'm trying to edit those out as much
They're
as
all
possible.
intentional
Blame the audio
vocal
guy.
fireworks.
Yes.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Right,
We're-
Chris?
Joke's
We
on
are-
you. We're sitting right over a fireplace right now.
We
Roasting
are recording
marshmallows.
Christmas
on
time.
We're sitting in hell.
Oh,
There you
mean,
go.
I'm sorry that I've done that to you, but hey, we are recording on a new thing than what we were before, called
That's
a
very
computer.
techy.
Yeah, called a computer.
Call the computer.
Instead of well, this is an 8-track, so if that makes it's a digital 8-track. But every now and then, my computer is just like, hey, by the way, you're doing too many things, and it freaks
Not enough
out. But
RAM.
Yeah, literally. So that's why. But we're working on that. So whatever. If you hear little clicks and pops here, then just fuck off. The second thing, we hit some numbers that are beyond my comprehension.
Yeah, I saw some of those messages come through, and I'm going to tell you what. Don't know what any of it meant.
So this isn't sponsored yet, but our website is powered by Squarespace, and
Wow.
they just added a new feature on there. I don't know how long ago, but it's new for me because we haven't literally posted in 2 years. That shows you a breakdown of all of the times that your website's been visited, the amount of traffic we've gotten, and the amount of clicks and all that shit. And they have an RSS feed, like
Tracker.
analytic tracker on there. And although it says specifically this does not count, or this does count like everything. So this is across the map. Like if people are listening on iHeartRadio and on all these other crazy apps and Spotify, it adds it all together. So, that's just the thing. But we've had, since the RSS feed has gone back up, almost 400 listens since then. And it's only
It's
been
listens of over 30 seconds, though, right?
over 30 seconds and across multiple, like, that's not just focused on one little area.
It's every
It's
pool
everything
of how to
that's been-
listen,
yeah.
every platform.
So there could be duplicates, as the fact that, like, I've tested on a few different apps to make sure our RSS feed was working. So, take it or leave it. So realistically, it's probably a little less than that, but I'm still excited to see a 400 number pop up on there because
Right.
that's literally insane for me. Like,
400 is
Yeah.
better than 4.
And you know what? You're right.
Us. One,
But
two.
four is the number we're used to.
yeah,
so.
that is the number we're actually
But you
used
know
to.
what? We really appreciate everyone who even clicked and gave us a chance for that 30 seconds or whatever it is.
Seriously,
Not
'cause
that
it-
you're going to hear it now because we're about 10 minutes into this one, but
Yeah,
it's
right.
fine.
But I mean, that means people made it past the intro and at least started, getting our conversation going, right? And the big thing that I think is happening is that, like, people will listen and then stop and then come back and listen again.
That's
or
what I
jump
do a
in.
lot.
So so that's what's happening.
Now that I'm
Um,
actually listening to us.
Right, exactly.
Nick walked in and I was listening while I was doing something in the lab earlier today, and he was like, "Oh, you're listening to a podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he starts talking stuff, and he goes, "Wait, is that your podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is.
just someone who sounds exactly
I'm like,
like
"Why
me.
did you hear me?" And he was like, "No, actually, I think I heard Mark or Vox." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah."
I'm always afraid that, like, I'm going to connect my phone in the morning and it's going to connect to, like, because we have a Bluetooth speaker that I connect my phone to. And then people are just going to hear my voice and be like, wow, why are you listening to yourself?
I think it's
You should
important.
broadcast it to everyone at work.
I can't,
I mean,
though.
We
Yeah, you
swear
should,
so
though.
much.
Yeah.
I've done
Eat
it.
that shitter like an apple fritter, just like over the
Perfect.
speakers at work.
Hey, there are
Something
women
about
who would
selling
appreciate
dildos.
that.
Yeah, I think, though, that it's really important to go back and listen to yourself, right? Because it's like good personal critique. You can hear what you sound like. You start working on, like, the way you speak.
Yeah, you
I
can
mean, now
fix
that I'm
your
not nervous about
voice.
it, or like now that I don't care about it, I
Right.
don't mind listening. I don't mind hearing myself now.
Yeah, I think I always think it's interesting. I listened to the whole episode, obviously, and
The weird thing is I hear myself differently in the headphones
yeah,
here
yeah.
than I do when I play back. I feel like my voice is different somehow,
I
but I
got-
know it's not.
I got so used to that after, my career in radio. It was just you had to know what you sounded like.
Well,
Yeah.
when we first started, I was like, "That's what I sound like." I'm like, "I'm so annoying."
Well, keep in mind, he turns your volume down, so you're not as annoying as you would be.
Really? Do you turn my volume?
Yeah,
down?
you're the
Yeah.
lowest on here
Why?
because
You're
you're the
Italian.
Your voice,
because you're
your
the
voice is higher pitched.
because you're the loudest.
Yeah, and
At
you
the
definitely
table.
have
I
the
like
highest,
them eat
highest
the
pitch.
balls.
Yeah,
You like to eat some balls?
you enunciate
No, she likes to meet their balls. That's what she
Oh,
said.
okay.
you enunciate and project so much that it peaks real high.
I want to hear it like
No, it's
No.
distorted. It sounds like one of
It's
those
bad. You
memes where
peak.
stuff is just like
Yeah.
in your
You
ear.
peak.
Yeah, it's
You don't
it's-
remember I was sound testing like the first 2 episodes?
No, not really.
No, it was gnarly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
His-
why your gains turn down, your levels turn down, your
Yeah.
bass is down, your high is down.
Wow, so that meme I posted today is actually true.
I mean, it's
Accurate as
100%.
fuck.
That's why I said that there's no doubt in my mind that I know
It's the most true statement ever.
I know it's the most true statement, and there will never be a single chance in our history of relationship, for however long it goes, that I'll be like, "Yep, that's my loud woman." I'll just be like, "God, she's fucking loud." So
it's always
loud.
a shock.
So loud.
Yeah.
I cannot
Listen,
believe
if
it.
one day you're deaf, it'll be perfect.
Nope.
Because I don't have to change my volume.
Hey, I gotta tell you,
Cara's like,
I
Mark
gotta
still
tell
can't
you,
hear you.
I gotta tell you, I
True.
do appreciate that you're loud because I can hear you most of the time, more often than I hear her. So I appreciate that you're loud, but
I
at
do
the
it
same
all
time,
for you, Mark.
I can tell you from
I was
experience.
never this loud until we started.
until
we
you
met.
started yelling at me. I can tell you from experience, though, if he starts going deaf, you're gonna have to turn the volume up. Yeah, he'll start watching the TV at 75.
Ugh.
That's what I do.
We don't watch it at 75. Although it doesn't really
60.
do anything past
60.
60. It's the same.
Just get a sound bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it'll be louder. That's what we have. A
I'm
sound
just
bar.
gonna start wearing headphones.
There you go. Yeah.
Then you can't hear anything going on around you, and then you guys can't talk about the show or the movie that you're watching.
I
Sounds
fall asleep
perfect.
anyways.
True. And then I can't hear her snoring. Perfect.
Oh my god, I felt so bad the other day.
bitch.
He was like, so part of our things that we're dealing with right now is like I had to pick something that was for me. Something
Yeah,
I was
right.
going to commit to doing for a week straight that was just for me. And I just wanted it to be like solid sitting down time spent with Mark.
Yeah.
Like every day it's going to be like
She wants
15
to
minutes.
snuggle for 15
Yeah.
minutes at least.
So he was like, I can support that. So I laid down with him for a second, and then I ended up moving over to the big round chair. And I'm laying there, and he was like, "You didn't even like do your cuddle thing." And I was like, because I was so tired. And he comes over and he cuddles with me, and I rolled over so that I was snuggled up to him, and I woke myself up because I was snoring directly into his ear.
Luckily,
so
luckily it was the bad
loud.
ear. She was
So
like,
loud.
was I snoring in your ear? Did I interrupt the show? I'm like, no, the good ear can hear that. We're fine.
I woke myself up. It was bad.
It was loud as shit, though.
Do I snore?
Sometimes.
You,
Oh, okay.
I think you grind. Like that's probably the loudest thing you do, though.
It's a little TMI, but okay.
I do grind. Speaking
That
of
too.
grinding, did I talk about this last week? I don't know if I did. I got a root canal,
Yeah.
right? And it is infected.
Nice.
So I am on antibiotics that make my farts smell the worst they've ever smelled in my
Great.
entire life.
Sounds awesome. I hope
The
you don't get
amoxicillin
I,
gastritis.
does that to you?
I
It's
disagree,
not
though.
amoxicillin. I don't know what
Challenge
the fuck it
accepted.
is.
That's like the most common antibiotic unless you're allergic to, what is it, penicillin?
I don't know. Maybe it is amoxicillin. I don't know. Whatever it is,
Amoxicillin is made from penicillin, so it's the same deal.
it makes me toot, and it is.
I don't think I feel like they've been worse before.
Well, you'd be smelling them, not me.
She'd be
so.
the number one witness.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Just
saying.
Yeah.
try to keep it together for the next
There-
45 minutes, please.
There have been nights.
I'll clench for you.
There have been nights where I wake up yelling at him because his farts woke me up because they smelled so
She's
bad.
done,
Yeah,
it.
they're
She's
bad.
done it too.
But
bad.
it hasn't happened this time.
Well, that's good.
Yet.
I'm
It's
glad. I'm
time.
glad my farts haven't awaken your slumber, because that would have been.
Interrupted your
My-
beauty sleep.
Yeah.
It's
with
a
this
rude
stink.
awakening.
Precious.
Like, if something smells that bad to wake you up,
Yeah.
you're just angry at its existence.
Cara has woken
Like,
up.
why
and, like,
is this a thing?
I was
screamed
like,
at
go
me.
sleep in the guest room. You stink.
She has told me that multiple.
I'm here on business.
He's
Yeah.
never actually gone and slept in the guest room, but we
I've gone and
made
slept
it
on the couch because I was gassy enough.
Yeah, no. There was only when I had bronchitis recently is when he went.
bronchitis.
He went
when
in the you sat on the couch, didn't you? You didn't
Yep.
even
Watch
sleep.
TikToks for 2 hours before I had to get up for work.
Why, you
That was-
just didn't want to get sick?
That was no.
I was up
Couldn't breathe.
coughing.
She just was the loudest human in the world, and
Yeah, after
I
we
couldn't
went to
have
that
it.
concert at DTE, I coughed a lot. Like
Yeah,
I
you
was
did.
laying in bed. I think I just kept coughing for like 2 straight hours, and I was still trying to sleep so bad. I wanted to sleep
That
so
was-
What
bad.
show
yeah,
was
that was
that?
When we went to see Boys to Men.
Oh, that was at Freedom Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know why. I just like couldn't feel like my throat was getting cleared up. Like it just felt like
A lot of
dry and itchy
Well, it was
and all this stuff.
dust
Like it just
and weed
almost
smoke
like there
and
was
God knows
dog
what.
hair like in my throat or something, and I
That
couldn't get
actually
it out.
happened.
I was
That's
like, you
why I
guys have
cough a
some
lot.
pooches as well.
Yeah, but
so-
everybody was in the house. Like my
Bose
mom
made it
was
worse.
sleeping, Mark's mom was sleeping, like everybody was in our
God.
house.
How
Yes,
do you fit so
I was
many people
just
in
gonna
that
say
house?
that. Like, you have a smaller house than we do, and you're just like piling them in.
We threw drunk Gina in the basement. We were like, "Here's a blanket. Go,
Go
downstairs."
Did she sleep on the couch?
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. We're like, I'm done dealing with you
Yeah,
tonight.
you just have a nice time. Well, it might have been a probably. That's
Mark's
probably a
mom
great-
was all emotional. She had a great time. So she slept on the couch. Alex slept in the chair, and then Nick and Brooklyn have their room. So
Speaking of Mark's mom, she chugged all the way through the 2 hours
did.
of the
She
first
did.
Aw.
episode, which is great.
Thank you.
She's really trying to become a guest.
she
Yeah,
mentioned
Amanda
it.
was-
She's
she
doing it.
did
Really wants
mention
to
the
be
other
on
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even Amanda
was like,
yeah.
since I'm listening to your podcast, can I be on now? And I wanted to be like, how much of it have you actually listened
2
to?
episodes.
Pop quiz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
right.
so we'll see this episode if she listens because she'll hear it and she'll be like, hey, I heard you talking about me, and then I can
Mhm.
be
Yeah,
like,
she's
okay,
gotta make
cool,
it-
you
make
listened.
it 17 minutes or 16 and a half minutes in, whatever.
This guy at work actually has been asking me about it too. He's like, that'd be really cool. I should be able to come on your podcast or something. I'm like, you have to be a listener to come. You
Yeah,
know,
oh, yeah,
you
you
gotta just
gotta
listen in
fucking
order
listen.
to come
And you have to
be
be
a part of
important in
this.
some way.
And I was like,
Yeah.
actually, I did mention you last week. And he's like, you did? I said, yeah, I was talking about whiny little bitches at work.
Is this Joel?
No, it was Austin.
Well, you mentioned
Yeah,
your
the other
other
one, you little
coworker
bitch.
too,
Emily?
Emily?
Yeah.
Did she
She
listen?
probably won't even have time. No.
Oh, there's always time. Do you drive to work? Do you drive home from work? Do you take a break? Do you poop? Because there's time for it.
Do you shower? Because you can listen to it
There's
in the shower.
there's always time to listen to a podcast. Don't fuck
Yeah.
with me on that.
I'll just keep sending it to her until she starts listening.
Now that we're my train of thoughts going here now. The
Patreon.
Patreon.
patrons Patreon that has patrons. You know what I'm fucking talking about.
Patronage.
It's alive. It's back. It's here. Is your
One-
dad
one would
listening?
say
Is he
it's better
back?
than other. Yeah, my dad is a patron.
I know he's a patron.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he's-
I know. Hey,
I don't know if he listened to the new episode
Okay,
yet.
well, it's back up. If he makes it this far in the new episode, hi Sam, thanks for supporting us. Dustin, we already fucking know about him. We've already talked about him. He's old news. I'm joking.
Put a
I'm
nice
joking.
Facebook post up for
Yeah,
us.
no, I'm joking. Love you.
Thank you, Dustin.
But just so you all know,
Dustin's our number 1 fan.
it's up there. I
Yeah.
have to adjust the tiers. The tiers are the same thing. I'm just going to make it $1 as a minimum. If you want to donate more, that's great. Thank you. But just so people can sit down and listen, $1 is the least amount I can do. I can't make it 50 cents or I would, you know.
Steve is no longer an active patron. But
No,
he was.
no.
He will be soon.
He
I'm
will
sure.
be. There was just I paused the Patreon, and then when I resumed it and like got reconfirmed because I had to go back through
Yeah,
and
yeah.
wait for the approval to go through and all this other shit. It was like, you have 2 patrons. I'm like, how? This just started. Well, they never stopped their
Yeah.
their patron is
What?
Yeah, they never stopped their donation. It was just paused, so they weren't giving us
They weren't.
money.
Yeah, they weren't
oh,
paying
I'm
the
like,
whole
we
time.
kept
Yeah.
getting paid from them? and
No,
we
no,
weren't
no,
even-
no. I paused it so we weren't able to get money anymore because we weren't doing anything,
Yeah.
and that's just fucking wrong. So, but anyways, it's back up. So I just wanted to mention that too.
On
'cause-
on
Give
that
us
note,
money.
we
'Cause
did
stuff is
do a
coming.
couple shout outs, and I had someone who was particularly irritated with me that I didn't shout him out. Peachy, you're a dick.
Oh well, you know, Peachy isn't a patron, but he's a new listener.
He just wanted to give me a hard time,
I
but
thought
he
you
is a
did
new
bring
listener.
him up last episode.
We did not, apparently. He said, "Where's my shout out?" I'm like, "Did we shout anybody out?" He goes, "Oh, well, you might have mentioned your mom." I'm like, "You know whose birthday it was?"
and
he goes-
gave birth to
all right,
me.
all right, Peachy, you get
This
a
is what
free
you
Peach
asked
sticker.
You know what, Peachy, fuck you. Okay.
Yeah. So well,
We love you. Keep listening.
Yeah, I would say
but
he's a
he
new
did-
listener,
He did
so.
chug through the new episode, and he said it was great. So
Did he listen to the old episodes?
I don't
I
know.
don't think
He's
so.
gone back and listened to a couple.
Yeah, I think
but
that
don't know how
Vox
many.
mentioned one episode. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was episode 40.
14. I think actually is what
14
it
was the sex
Four-
episode.
4D
I know.
40
40
I
Ramble
know.
Ramble.
It's my favorite one. It's my new favorite.
4D.
one. 4D.
Not 40.
I'm very
For
partial.
double D.
I'm very partial to the episode titled "Mark's Useless Information Pays Off."
My life.
We played a game of R.I.P. Trebek, and
Oh, that's right. That's
and
right.
I dominated badly.
Yeah, because
Yeah, you did really well.
It was impressive.
I found out recently that I just can't do things on the spot. You know, like if we're just in conversation talking about things, I can spit information like crazy. When we were playing, what was that fucking game? Tapple?
No, I don't even want to
that
talk
right?
about it because I didn't even get a single card.
Just relax.
No.
That was so fun.
When we
It
were
was.
playing,
I had a great time, and then he goes, "Are you
Great
okay?"
game.
I'm like, "I'm fine." He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." And then he's like, "What's
like, "I
wrong?"
lost,
And I'm
bitch.
like, "I'm just mad that I didn't get a single fucking card. That's it. It's not a big deal." And I'm like, "It's so stupid that I'm
Tear
upset
sheds.
about this." But like, he's like keeps pushing. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like,
You're wrong now, bitch.
I'm just bummed out. It's fine.
I just realized though that it's very hard for me to like pull things split second out of thin air. You know, so when we're playing Jeopardy, it's like you got to give me a minute here, and Mark's just like.
I wasn't
not
giving
that kind of
anybody
game.
any
Point
minutes.
3 seconds, no problem. I have that information in
Jeopardy,
my back
you have
pocket.
to be like, push
Tosh
the
stole
button.
quite a few from me. She even interrupted Kara just to get in front of me on a few of them. It was funny as
Yeah.
hell because we're like, "You're just not gonna let her finish the question." She's like, "Well, Mark is gonna answer it."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
I'll
a
have
lot
to
of.
listen to that episode.
I don't know a whole lot of things. Oh
That's
boy.
why you do. That's why you do the thing. That's why you
There you
host
go.
the games.
Yeah, that's well. I'm not the game
she's
master.
trying to turn the volume down now, Vox.
You know, she's like,
I know.
She's like,
Talking
"Fuck
back
you,
here."
turn me back up."
yeah. Well, 21 minutes into the episode, we have a topic now to talk about.
What are you talking about? We've had
This
topics.
is
Rambling.
there's plenty of topics we've
There's a lot
just
of
covered.
things going on. I don't want to mention any names, but if he makes it this far in the episode, he'll know who it is. But a buddy of mine has brought up. We were talking, and a conversation outside of that conversation was brought up, and Tosh and I started talking about it today. But I thought it was going to be a really good topic for you guys as well to get opinions on it and bouncing back and forth. So, long story short, a divorce is happening, or could be happening, and the conversation that spewed from that is based around, less effort in a relationship. So I saw a TikTok when I first got on my TikTok escapades that kind of like it was a woman explaining the fact that why women are ruining men in the dating world right now because they expect so much still, right? So the premise of the TikTok was like, you are upset because the man isn't trying so hard anymore after being in a relationship with you because they tried for so long to put in so much effort. And then once they finally got you, they were relaxed a little bit more because they didn't have to,
Woo.
try so hard. But then that lack of effort disappeared, so you end up leaving them, putting them back into the single and the dating world, but they don't have the effort to continue, so now less and less men are getting, more, interested in dating.
Discouraged.
So,
They're getting discouraged.
Less men are trying so hard, and it's a good thing, honestly. I think the best.
Yeah, Mark never tries hard.
Exactly.
He never gets very far.
I
either.
think the best dating advice I have ever heard from anyone ever was Bo Burnham. If you want love, lower your expectations.
That's what I did.
Hey, bitch.
I love how it took you a minute.
Well, I'm trying to think of all the other douche cunts that she fucking dated before me, and I think I'm doing all right comparatively.
You got a house.
I mean, if that's all,
Why are we not on video right now?
is that all I got?
You
No.
cooked me dinner.
I heard your wiener's pretty big.
Where'd
Yeah,
you hear
well,
that?
Well,
Casey. That's
Uh,
fine.
How does he know?
I don't think Casey's ever seen my wiener.
I'm pretty sure he has. Once or twice.
Anyways,
That
Hopefully,
Yeah.
your,
Yeah.
parents
No.
aren't listening to this.
no way.
Sometimes you
No,
hug real
but-
tight.
Okay, but also like everyone is their best self when they first start dating someone, like women and men. Yes.
I don't even think it's their best self. I think it's an inauthentic self. If that's not who you are all the time, then it's not genuinely being you, you know?
That's
You're putting off a
I mean-
perception to it's a manipulation. Truthfully, it's a manipulation to get somebody to date you. I get that they put all this pressure on the guy,
Yeah, right.
and and so like the guys do all this extra work to try to like win the girl over. That just kind of comes from old societal things with fucking dowries and shit.
I look at it as like the peacock spreading its tails.
Yeah,
right? Like they got to show their colors more, and that doesn't happen.
but that's not what's happening either,
They're not
because
showing
those
their
actually
true
are a
colors.
peacock's colors.
Right, but that's vice versa. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's like that's what I'm imagining is like the peacock has to show its feathers to get the female, right? But
Yeah.
men aren't doing
But
that.
I mean, when you first start dating someone or seeing someone, it's like something that would annoy you 5 years into the relationship, maybe right 5 days into the relationship, you're going to let it go and you're not going to
Yeah.
get mad about it.
I don't disagree with you.
And
Yeah.
like, or you're more positive about things, or you're just more like upbeat, I guess. I
Well,
don't
that's-
know. And
that's-
that's how I feel. Like,
yeah.
I feel like when I was dating people, and obviously you and I are dating, like, whatever, in a committed relationship, but I
Excuse me.
always wanted to be more positive. I didn't want to be like negative, and if I was in a fight with a family member or a friend or something, I didn't want to like bring that into the relationship.
See, and
Right
that's
when we
that's where I
started
think
dating.
it's still kind of it doesn't balance out in a positive in a good way at all, but it does. It's not just happening on one side or the other, because I think that men overdo things. You know, they try to woo the girl, they try to impress the girl, and they do all of these extra things that the girls just kind of eat up. You know, they buy flowers, open doors, do more extravagant things or whatever. But also, we're putting on a show too. We're
Well,
not
We're
letting
wearing-
you see our
Makeup.
crazy.
Yeah,
we're
we're
not
wearing
letting
our
you see-
best dress or best
One
outfit.
word.
We're like doing our makeup and hair for hours, and then once we're
Fucking
in a
fake
committed
eyelashes,
relationship,
for
it's like
fuck's sake.
I haven't worn makeup.
Matching
I mean,
underwear.
Not for. I don't ever wear
What even
makeup
is
or
that?
bras.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Do you prefer that? Like, is that something that like turns you on?
What, at the underwear
Like, do you
matches?
specifically
the-
note like,
I
wow, they
prefer
match?
if the underwear's off.
Well,
Fucks.
no. I'm talking
Like a
about,
lingerie
like-
deal?
No. I'm talking like you guys set the scene here. Ready? You go out to dinner. You got the house to yourself. You come home. It's time to
Wow,
make.
you're talking dreams.
Yeah, right. You're talking sexy time here, right? And there's matching bra and underwear. Is that something that you're like?
Kind of attractive. Yeah. I mean,
That's all I'm asking.
it's attractive.
I don't personally give a shit. 'Cause
I
like
mean,
you said,
I
you know,
get dressed in front of you, so you're seeing what I'm putting on before
And
we go
you know
out.
what?
Yeah.
Every
Right,
time,
right.
every time you get undressed in front of him, he's looking. Every
there-
time.
we still shower together, right? So that's like a thing.
We want to see you naked. That's the point. Like that's it. It doesn't matter really what you're wearing because we just want to see you naked.
So I don't want to throw. This guy's never going to listen to this, and the guy who told me about this will. But I don't. Whatever. I'm going to say it.
Don't say names.
I'm not going to say names. So the issue that
Unless
was
his name is
arising.
Will, then he does.
Yeah, the issue that's arising from, or this like possible divorce conversation stemming from, is the lack of personal hygiene, and both.
Wait, did Cara tell you we were getting a divorce? God damn it, Cara.
So apparently, this gentleman goes for like days on end without brushing his teeth. Goes for days on end without showering. Like it's like
So
one-
lack of self
just
care.
Yeah, like self-care, right? So the big thing that I was talking to Tasha about, and that's why I'm bringing this up, because I just said we shower together. I feel like that, like, I like to shower, you know? I like the 15 minutes of hot water pouring on my head and just like solitude, whether it's listening to music
Feeling like
or
you're back home.
yeah, right, in hell, yeah, absolutely. But it's also a time that we've like really shared together as a couple that's bonding, right? So it's the only uninterrupted conversation that we have. You know, there's no distractions, there's no
phones,
TVs, there's no
TVs,
phones, right?
yeah.
So it's kind of like that weird bond situation, and I feel like this gal should just be like, why don't we start doing things like that as a couple instead of, well, I just don't like the fact they're not showering, so I'm going to divorce you.
Okay,
I
but
think-
You know,
also,
there's like so many
I
different
mean-
ways to
I mean,
approach that.
yeah, but him brushing his teeth and stuff, that's another thing.
Well,
but it's also
baby steps.
like, is he going through something? and
That's what
why
I was
he's
gonna
not?
say. That would be a
It's
bigger
a lot deeper
indicator.
than
Is
just hygiene.
It's
Sure.
got to be something. There's got to be something more going on there too. That if she's not willing to look at the why, then
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's not the only reason that she's not interested anymore.
And I don't know these people personally.
Yeah,
It was just a conversation.
yeah,
I was
absolutely.
having, but it got me thinking because it's like, well,
yeah,
shit.
because if I saw that starting to happen, I'd be like, okay, well, lack of self care and all this stuff are big indicators of mental health issues
Sure.
and stuff that if somebody's going through.
And I know he's got to be in his 50s, so it could be midlife crisis time.
Yeah, but usually you go above. Usually go like.
Well,
You
you
blow
never know.
all your money.
That's
You
one
go
way-
and
2020
do
was a
extra.
shit.
You go
you
get
know.
some like new
Yeah,
fucking
but-
teeth.
But a complete lack of self care is a depression move.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I
And
can
maybe-
tell you from experience.
And-
Well, and
maybe
also,
something's
and
there.
my thing is like if this is just all of a sudden happening, like it's how, like, was he like this before her? Was he like this recently? Or like is it?
Yeah.
I don't
this
know.
is a big,
Is it a
deeper
thing?
issue.
Oh,
That,
I'm
that
sure,
It's,
yeah.
it's on the surface. It looks kind of like petty that she's like, oh, he's not caring for himself. I'm gonna break up with him or divorce him or whatever.
Sure.
Which why
But-
is that? I mean, obviously they've come to that conclusion after.
Right.
I'm
But
sure.
there's
Maybe she
some
thought she
obviously-
could change him, and he's always been this way.
Maybe.
But how long?
I doubt
how
it.
long were
women
they?
trying to change.
How long were they
men.
together before that?
I don't
Like,
know.
Long enough to have
because-
kids.
Well, I don't think they have kids together.
Oh.
There's stepkids that crisscross, but
Oh, okay.
But like obvious, like Vox and I have been together for 5 years now. Like I think by now I would have recognized if he wasn't showering and wasn't
Has
brushing
it only
his
been
teeth.
5 years?
yeah, it'll be
Well,
5
it'll
years
be
in
5
February.
years in February.
I feel like it's been way longer than that.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah,
fight like
me
an old married
too.
couple, so. Bitch, you need to just calm down. They can't see your
Do you
ring
hear my
finger.
ring finger
They
on
can't
the?
see it. They
It
can't see it.
sounds
microphone?
empty.
It sounds- you guys need to fuck off.
Wait, does mine sound full?
Remember how much joy you got out of these jokes just a couple years ago?
I know, right? Because you were like, never gonna happen.
Nah,
In his mind.
I still
has
get joy out of it.
Yeah.
Believe me, I still get joy out of it. It's driving her crazy. Anyways, I just I thought it was a good little spin on the combo
Yeah.
there because,
There's definitely some more deep seated issues there that I think it's maybe she's done something to put him in this
yeah,
mental
there's just
state.
too little
Maybe he's
information
just like,
to like
Too
truly.
much
now I don't
nagging.
care.
I guarantee.
I know
there's
he
too much
calls
nagging.
me and he tells me, I'm like, what about this? What about this? How long have they been married? And he's like, I don't know. They just
don't-
told me this. And
Hey.
I was just like, okay, well, I need more information.
This is not enough
Hold- it's-
information
hold
to go
hold
on.
It's the
This
small
is a
things.
good topic here. Men do not ask follow up questions.
We know.
Quite
He's
often.
just like, oh yeah, so and so told me this. And I'm
You
like,
get me at first,
oh,
and I'm like,
that's
hey,
it.
I'm gonna
That's
find
the
their fucking
story.
dating profile, their Facebook, their
yes.
Instagram. Like, I'll figure out what's going on.
Cara will find out the wife's maiden name. Like, women.
I
women
don't
are weird.
care.
Yeah, no,
Just
yeah, I
you
don't either.
gave me the bullet points.
You
and
cared
I,
enough to ask a question in the first place. Now you got to follow through with my craziness.
I don't
That's
think he
what
asked the
happens.
question. I
I
think he
didn't-
was told the question.
No, I didn't
But
ask.
you're
told.
sharing the question.
Yeah,
It was-
and you cared enough to tell me about it.
He shared it because it was an interesting
I was
topic
saying,
to
it's
talk
just,
about.
I'm just talking. Like I've just been like, yeah, I don't think that would ever happen with us because I brush my teeth 3
You guys
times
shower
a day.
together.
We shower together. There's never gonna be an issue with
Tosh
that.
would definitely notice if you stopped showering because she's all alone in there.
Well, during the week it's usually harder to shower together because our schedules are flip flop. But she would notice because I'm a stinky boy.
You are a stinky boy.
I'm a stinky boy.
Well, and you would probably wear the same clothes all day, every day if you didn't
Well,
shower.
I wear the same clothes after I get
No,
out
I'm
of shower.
yeah. So I'm saying like you'd be when I get home and you're in your work uniform. I'm like, did you shower? No, I'm
Oh,
gonna shower now.
Yes, and then I got into this. Duh, dumbass.
I crawled back into my
But you
sweaty
never,
clothes.
you never get out of your sweaty clothes into clean clothes, and then you're like, all right, I'm good. Like you shower before that.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. Showering is a big thing that needs to happen.
I enjoy showering.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I like when I'm in the shower. I don't like having to get myself into the shower.
It
It's
is an effort.
it's a
sometimes.
mental effort.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
No,
I
not
hate
for
it.
me.
hate
If
it.
my skin and hair wouldn't dry out, like I'd shower multiple times a day, no problem.
Same.
Just hop in
Nope.
that bitch. I do not care.
If
I'm
I had a
about it.
tub, I would sit in a tub.
If I had unlimited hot water, I'd shower for hours.
Yeah, I want a hot tub.
I don't-
Yup.
Can I get a hot tub?
If you want to, money will buy you anything.
My
Yeah.
dad said he'd give us an inflatable
got that
one, but I
reference,
haven't heard
Cara.
anything about
Thank
that
you.
yet.
Well,
like a good neighbor.
he needs.
Farm is there.
Speaking of your dad, he needs to start listening to the show because he is retired now. So all he has to do is turn it on while he's playing Destiny.
Start listening.
And
You gotta go
just
back to
listen.
listening.
Did
right?
you tell him that
That's
when
a
you
crime.
guys played
Oh, he
together?
only listened
That's a
live
crime.
before.
You
Didn't
cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot listen to a podcast while you play a game that you're supposed to be paying attention to with the sound.
If he's just doing strikes,
What are you talking about? That's what you do with your podcast all the time.
If I'm playing Madden, sure, Madden's mindless. I don't need any of the fucking sound in that game.
Then why do you yell at me that not to talk to you because you need to concentrate?
well,
Well,
that's
it's different. I'm
that's
not
different.
trying to
Roasted.
process a conversation when I'm playing Madden. It's fucking
it's just random people talking to you about nothing. We are having the conversation.
yes.
You know, the people listening are just.
You still have to understand
listening
how
to
to play
babble.
football when you're playing Madden, Cara. It's different.
I wish I knew how to play football.
I'll teach you.
Football.
No thanks, I'm good.
It's easy.
I kind of know how to play football.
You don't know shit.
Sure.
First
played
and
Powder
10,
Puff.
do it again one more time.
That's cheerleading.
Yes, but I know that you have to get, I don't know all the penalties.
Do you know what 1st and 10 means?
Yeah, you have to get,
This is a great
Okay.
session.
So-
here.
Sports talk.
I just know that you have to move 10 yards for it to start over to
Yep.
get into the
To get a
You
first
have how
down.
many chances to do that?
4.
Yep.
And then once you get a touchdown, you get 6 points. And then
Yep.
you have to kick it into the field goal to get another point.
Or you can try to do a second touchdown, right?
Yeah, you can try for a 2-point conversion.
Oh, whatever.
which
Cool.
is- yeah,
She already knows more than you.
she already knows.
I knew the
Yeah, I
answers
know
to all
that-
that besides
I
the
know that
2-point
once you
conversion.
once you get past the 10-yard line, I guess, or whatever the 10 is.
Once you get past, the first down line,
yeah, you
you get another
reset.
first down.
But if you only get like 6 yards or whatever, you're at second.
One
Whatever.
rule that I do know and quite frankly enjoy about football is that you can grab people's hair,
Yep.
which is really great.
You can legitimately tackle by anything hanging off of their body.
Besides face masks.
Penis?
Yeah, I mean, you can't touch the helmet,
Okay.
but
Got it. But that's still great.
but if their
Because you know
if
there's
their
motherfuckers out
beard
there.
hangs out of their fucking chin strap, you can grab them by the beard.
I thought you
Damn.
couldn't like grab the back of their shirts or anything like
You
that.
can't
either.
do that. I mean, you can to tackle, yes. You just can't grab them by the back of the shoulder
I
pads.
say
It's
the
called a
shoulder
horse
pads.
collar.
Yeah.
And you can't grab them by their head.
Did you play football in high school?
Yes.
Do you think he played foot? The motherfucker's 7 foot tall. Of course
That's
he
like
played
saying
football.
that he played basketball because he was tall.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I did
okay.
not play basketball.
All right.
I knew you
That's
wrestled,
fair.
but I didn't
Right.
know if you played football.
Yeah.
Oh,
Re-
I guess they are different seasons.
Yes,
Okay.
football and wrestling,
That's
yes.
fair.
Basketball and wrestling are the same season in high school.
Sports.
I like sports talk. I'm enjoying this.
Man,
It's great.
fuck.
He never played basketball.
Basketball's awful.
You
I
did
don't
play
know
a
any
little
football
baseball, didn't you?
songs.
Like
I play
early
baseball,
on.
yeah.
I only know cheerleading football songs. Silver and blue, we're rooting for you.
Did you cheerlead?
No,
Then why do you know him?
because I went to all the games. I
you
dated
just-
a football player.
You just listened to the cheerleaders the whole time instead of paying attention to the game?
It's all you hear
They're
the
in
whole
your
time.
fucking
I was a cheerleader
face.
for a year.
That's sad.
I wanted to be a cheerleader, but
You just weren't good enough.
When your butt was too big.
oh, okay. So I originally
I don't know if that's an
tried
insult.
out. I tried out for the Huskettes, and that was the dance team, and I did not make it because I have 0 rhythm.
Really? I didn't know that.
Gee,
And-
wonder
and-
wonder what your skin color is there, Tosh.
And then cheerleading came around, and I was kind of interested, but they
I
all
got rhythm.
they all did
I'm a
like
white boy,
flips
too.
and shit, and I'm like, I can't do that. I wish I would have, but
You just reminded me of what happened in my house. My sister and I have a very weird relationship.
No.
You know it's going to be a good one when she sighs before finishing the conversation.
Well, you know those people in your life that are just like, you can not say a lot, but there's a conversation happening.
Mm.
Like you kind of just get what's happening
that
between the two
happens
of
with
you.
Alyssa and I. We talk
Right.
telepathically.
So
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah.
you should. It's an amazing thing to have happen. But my nephew was watching the Lorax, and I can't remember right now what the little
He
melody
speaks for the
is that the
trees.
Lorax sings when he's like, dancing
Never
through
seen
the
it.
trees.
So, okay, got it.
But I was like mindlessly doing something in the kitchen, and I started singing it, and I turned around and my sister's fucking twerking. And I'm like, "Are you getting down to the Lorax?" And it turned into this whole spin-off conversation about like, breaking it down to fucking the Barney intro and stuff. And she just rolls with it like everything. She probably makes my improv so much better just being around her. But That's what you just reminded me of, like the no rhythm, fucking Disney bullshit or whatever. Lorax
That reminds
is.
me of like something
Dr.
I'd
Seuss,
see on like TikTok or something, where someone's just like fucking go. Well, there's.
I wish you could see it.
You have the Backyardigans song that's really big now, right? And then the big spin-off from that Tosh introduced me to is I'm fucking sick of it. You know, instead of
I'm fucking sick of it.
yeah, instead of into the thick of it. So that to me just I can see totally some chick twerking with you know, I'm into the thick of it.
That's my sister.
You know,
But also,
Jesus
if you just know my sister, you know that she does some weird
I
shit.
think that's why I laughed so hard at that. Cause
I
can
walked into the living room before, and she's like inside this little rocket ship tent with her 1-year-old kid, and she was like, "So I brought you to this meeting today to discuss how your behavior is simply unacceptable in the office." And she's like totally serious, has no idea that I'm there. And she'll go. She just goes. Her voicemails are freaking hilarious.
Sarah finds a way to entertain herself.
I mean, when you're well, not to totally toss her, but when you've been alone for so long, right? And all you have is
her and the
two,
boys,
yeah,
you
when
know?
you have 2 little kids, you really got to find a way to
I wish
entertain
that you
yourself.
could blame the fact that she has 2 children to
Yeah,
hang
no,
out with on her.
Totally has nothing to do
Yeah.
with
You're
the
like,
fact
she
that
was
she's
like
been
this
like this
before.
for
Yeah.
20
right.
some years.
Jesus.
It's why she does so well in the barn and stuff at Blake's.
yeah.
All of those kids are like that.
Oh my!
She
yeah,
used to
'cause
get
they're
in
all
trouble for
fucking weird.
for holding people in the barn too long. Do you remember when there was like the dentist chair in there, and there was like that
Yeah.
waiting room beforehand?
Yeah, because that's now the freezer, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so she would hold people up there and line them up against the wall and move them around and
yes.
stuff.
Oh, yes.
But she used to get in trouble for holding people up for too long because she would fuck
Her
around with
improv
them.
is great.
Yeah.
Like that's where she gets it from. She rolls with shit in her own mind, and
Uh-huh.
she's like Cara. Her brain bounces around to different fucking things, and when it does, she's
just more
like, "Let's
creative
just
than
do
me."
it."
It's gotta be a Helzer thing.
It's a fucking
It's in the
it's
blood.
a woman thing. Like I hate to
Yeah, I mean-
generalize, but it is a woman thing. Like
I'll be having a conversation with like one of my girlfriends, and it's like we're talking about something, and then we're all of a sudden on another topic, and I'm like, wait, why did we start talking about this in the first place? Because I actually had somewhere that I was going with this story.
and then
You know how
forget what you
satisfying-
started with.
You know how satisfying it is for that to happen, and then to be like one time it happened with Mark. I thought of something and I started talking about it. He goes, "Oh, did you think of that because you saw this thing?" Like just in passing. I'm like, "Yes, that's actually what led my
Yeah.
brain down 3 different steps that brought me to this question that I asked you." And it's so satisfying
Yeah.
to like have somebody that actually
Understands
understood
that.
that.
You've seen that meme with Charlie from Always Sunny with the fucking red line.
Oh, yes.
That's Cara's mind at all times.
My mind works the same way though. I think
I was
we've
gonna say,
had
that's
this.
why we're here. Literally,
Yeah.
that's that kind of conversation that we have with each other is literally why we started doing this.
Yeah,
My mind works that way
absolutely.
too, but like I feel like I can make sense from one conclusion to the next to the next to the next, but then Cara's just goes. And for those
I love the fact that was quiet
completely
for so
silent,
because we just were like
you were all paying close attention to what
we
I was doing.
we were all into what you were
I
imaginarily
held
drawing
you
on
in
the
the
table.
palm of my hand.
I really enjoyed that. This is a great time to talk about that cameras will be set up soon, just not now. So you're missing out just on a little bit.
For those that don't know what I just did, imagine I scribbled on a piece of paper in a bunch of different loops and circles.
I work the same way though. Like I re-listened to the episode after it was put out, so I can make sure that everything was good. And there's so many times that I was like, "Oh yeah, I was going to talk about that," and then we just never went. We never went
got back.
You showed me something in the beginning of the episode where I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure." We never talked about that.
I don't even remember what I showed
I
you.
know what it was because it's sitting in my head. There's another thing that you brought up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember why I looked this up."
See,
Nah.
I don't understand how you do that. You
Never
actually
talked about that.
I don't know how you actually hold on to the unfinished things.
He doesn't.
'Cause-
He listened to the
No,
podcast.
they just annoy
But I
him.
mean,
Yeah,
I
they
feel
annoy
like
me
you
for
do.
sure.
Like you're like there's things that you're like, this story is unfinished. This thing is unfinished. Like you have a bunch of
It's-
unfinished projects, but you can actually like recall them.
It's like reading a book. I put a bookmark in, and then we keep going.
But like,
"Whoop,
I
gotta go
have
back
to
that one."
see it. Like that's why I'm like, you guys say that I'm organized, but like in my own space, I'm messy.
Sure.
Because if I don't see the thing that needs to be done in front of me, it's not gonna get done. So I have to be able to see the things. I have sticky notes everywhere to remind me of this thing that I have to go and find.
Right.
And it's a mess. But then when I have time to sit down and do it, I'm like, okay, one at a time, knock them out, and then I end up with a clean desk.
Her desk.
But
is
I have
that
to
meme.
see.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's covered in sticky notes.
That's how
covered
mine
in
is.
papers. And honestly, if I looked at it, wouldn't be able to make sense of any of it. But
that's how
Nope.
I am at work too. I made it very clear to a couple of different people: do not touch my desk. Don't put things on my desk. Don't. My buddy, I call him my buddy now, but Tasha's coworker's husband, Jake, works with me. I know that was a
poor guy.
follow that one. Yeah, I know. I harassed the shit out of the
Her
poor guy.
boyfriend's husband's coworker.
You
Coworker's
just start. You have to
husband's
start
boyfriend?
where Tasha's coworker's office is in the building, so that way it helps us to easily track down where.
Yeah, right. The big thing though
Where does
is
he live? What's his address?
he comes in every morning and says good morning to me, and I tell him to fuck off.
That way, your buddies.
Every month, yeah, every morning. But he was just throwing stuff on my desk at one point, and I was like, no, don't do that, because this has been here for God knows how long, and I didn't know about it, right? So I told him, I said, you're gonna put something on my desk, you put it on my keyboard, underneath my phone, underneath my wallet, somewhere, so that way when I grab it, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? So I feel you, because your desk is probably just as chaotic as mine. It's chaotic.
I'm in like a U
organization.
shape too, so it's
My-
like.
Oh,
it's
mine's
rounding.
everywhere, and I put it on the walls.
I literally,
I do everything.
my boss just came in and she like saw how my desk was, and I went on to Amazon and I was literally trying to find what they call those things that like kindergarten teachers have, and it's the big hanging thing that they put the
pocket
expo
cubby?
pockets in. What is it called?
A pocket cubby.
It's not like a cubby where you can put things inside of,
No,
but it's a
they got
hanging.
cubby pockets.
Yeah, where you can like hang,
Oh.
like put a display card
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it. Like
okay.
they put flashcards and
Yeah,
do like math
yeah.
problems and stuff in it. So I was trying to find that because we do a ticket inventory system. So everything has 2 tags. And if you take off the top ticket, that means we're ordering it. So it leaves a yellow one so you know it's on order. So I'm like, I can just put it in front of my computer, like right here where it's in front of my face. And everything that I have on order, I can see it instead of having to go to the board on the other side of the room to look at it. And she comes in, she's like, where did you get those? Because I need some of those. I'm
Oh,
like,
God.
I found them on Amazon.
See, we at my work, we have to be organized. Like throughout the day, like I am completely unorganized, but at the end of the day, we have to lock up all of our information because we have, member
Yeah, you have to like
numbers and
build
all
your
that shit.
folders as you're making them for people
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
I can't just leave someone's credit report sitting out on my desk while I go home, and then the cleaning people
John
find
Wilkerson
Right.
has a 437.
Like,
What a
even
piece of
today-
trash.
What a trash hole.
Even today, because it was like my last day until I go on vacation. I was like, I have I usually just pile it all in and then stick it in my desk and lock my desk. But when I'm off, I have to organize it all. And
Because
like,
if somebody needs to find something. they
yeah,
gotta-
and I mean, there's sometimes where it's like I have the time to organize it, but when I don't, I just throw it all in there and then I'll figure it out in the morning.
Yep.
So
But
I had
speaking
to be,
of
Uh-oh.
one more thing.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of where does he live, what's his name, what's his address, we gave away so much information about ourselves in the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
we?
We
Oh, yeah.
said our first and last names. We
Oh,
said
yeah.
where we're located. You said something about somewhere in Van Dyke.
Whoops.
And we gave away a lot of our.
Yeah, but we're not anywhere near that shit.
we don't live there anymore.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're away. You
Yeah.
can't find me.
Yeah.
Actually,
Fuck you guys.
in episode 40, callback, we do say the city we're located in. Because we're talking about crime in the local area, and we do drop the name of the city we're located in. But
Okay. I mean,
good luck finding us, because
I
it's a
don't
huge
care, man.
fucking city, bitch.
I've been doxxed before. I don't
Right.
care.
Well, and I feel like a lot of the people that listen to
Jesus.
us know us, so it's really not a big deal. And
Right.
if someone truly wants to find us, they will.
Yeah, oh yeah, your public records are easily accessible.
Yeah, so many of the podcasts I listen to, they won't even tell you their last name, and like there's
We
a couple.
should've done
There's
that.
a couple
Joke's
that'll
on
tell
you.
you
My
your
last
full
name's
name.
different now.
Yeah, that's true. Hey,
How'd you
Real-
manage
Real
that?
hard to. It's actually not. You fucking liar.
It is too.
You
Listen,
haven't
my
legally changed it.
jackets.
You fucking lying
my
bitch.
my Cintas jackets came in at work the other day, and Stacy walks in and she's like, "Who the fuck is Clark?" And I'm like, "Did they put my last name instead of a first name patch?" And if you open it up inside of it, it says Clark Cara instead of Cara Clark. So they put my last name on there as
God.
if it was my first name. So it says Stacy, Emily, and Clark. Those are our jackets.
Nice.
Clark.
Awesome. That's great.
Okay, Mark, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, I don't remember what I was going to say.
That's
You
cool.
gotta write it down.
I got it.
Okay.
It's back.
I was forced to have to be organized at work because for the longest time when I was working in logistics, it was just me. It was just me. Everything back there was only my organization. I was the only one handling any of it. So I had my own organizational deal. Like I knew where everything I needed was, but anybody else that came back there, except for maybe my boss, would have no fucking clue what's happening. So when we ended up hiring more people, I'm like, oh shit, I have to organize this so they understand. So I went and got like this file folder thing and like stacked everything. I labeled all a bunch of shit, and then like I keep everything in specific stacks and areas, and I tell them, hey, this is there, this is there, this is there. We have like 4 different whiteboards we write shit on, and my boss is like, hey, we ordered these new whiteboards. Make sure there's shit written on them. And I'm like what? He goes, well, I don't know, but we have to use them because we wanted them. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. All right, we'll write some stuff on it.
Are you using them?
Yes.
Oh,
they're all
okay.
being used.
Yeah.
They haven't been updated in like
Okay, so they're not being used.
wait,
They haven't been
no,
updated
They are
daily.
being used. They are itemized and written down, right? But remember when Quinn quit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the last time they got updated.
So
Weird how that happens.
I know, right?
It's almost like Quinn was the one updating it.
It was. Well, actually, one of my
Huh.
one of my new teammates actually has been updating those slowly. But I mean, we don't really get a lot of free time right now to
What's
do
free
free
time?
time. It's part of your fucking job to update it. Yeah,
It is bottom fucking ranked priority, dude.
Oh,
It
boy.
is fucking.
Yeah, we have that stuff too.
It's
that
shit.
it's like,
It's shit we can't even like make time to look at.
Yeah.
Because we are too fucking busy.
That's
We
how I
have
feel
that
about
stuff, too.
unpacking boxes. I'm like, do you want valves built and put onto totes, or do you want bolts put on the shelf when I can just put them in front of the shelf?
yeah, there's so
you
much
would hate
like,
my inventory
there's so
right
much-
yeah,
now.
that doesn't sound good
there's
to
so
me.
much back office stuff that we do that's like, all right, well, this is the last priority, so you only work on it when you have free time or when it's slow, and that's
Yep.
very few and far between that we
And guess what?
actually get that.
I work in logistics for a growing multi-million-dollar company. There's no such thing as slow time.
Mm-mm.
Amen for the union, brother.
Yeah, see, you don't get pulled to extra places, or you don't get forced to do anybody else's work.
Yeah, I do,
You don't.
but it's not
really. But
But I do. I mean, I'm unloading trucks daily, which
In
isn't part of my
wintertime,
job,
he's like
and-
out on the fucking
Yeah,
I
roads
plowed-
in the
yeah,
middle of the
he's
night.
Mr. Plow.
Yeah, I plow. Yeah, I do, but it's not as regular. as
yeah,
it
and
was.
you get paid good
yeah,
money for
that when I'm doing someone else's job, I get what's called out of class pay, so I get paid a premium on top of that because I'm doing someone else's job. So.
Yeah, I
Dang,
wish
that'd
I
be
got
nice.
that.
I wish I
Yeah.
got that when I was scraping totes today.
Yeah, that's a big
I
thing.
wish I get that when I do everything else outside of my job. Because
True.
what tends to happen is at least 30% of my normal day is not doing my job. Sometimes a lot more than that.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly with me, but
What drives me nuts.
yeah, well, that's that.
Did you say that we had an actual topic to talk?
We
Yeah.
did already.
Yeah,
we
well-
talked. We did.
Oh.
We already talked
That was
about
the
it.
divorce thing?
That was the divorce
That
thing.
was
But
the
I
one
wanted to
topic we
say this is the thing I wanted to say because you brought up my bookmarking ability. The thing that you showed me in the beginning of last episode
Yes.
was the fact that OnlyFans now revoked the revoking of
Porn.
nudity. And I looked a lot more into that, and they really were about to remove any kind of nudity, not just specific types. They wanted it all gone.
So originally they announced that it was only going to be excessively explicit. I don't know how to word it more appropriately, but things like
Fetish
fisting
stuff.
and
Just going for it.
They said extreme anal, which I don't know what that is. Well, they also said extreme fisting.
Minor
which,
anal is fine.
Right. Well, they said
There's like minor, major,
Hold on.
major, extreme. Extreme is where we can't
this is
go.
the thing
What
that,
about
this is the thing that
moderate?
got me. They said extreme. They said extreme fisting, and I'm like, I don't know about you, but fisting's kind of extreme on its own, isn't it? Like,
the fuck is that?
who the fuck fists softly? Like,
well, there's fisting, and then there's extreme fisting. So
There's hardcore fisting where there's two more that go on top.
they're
of
wearing
that.
boxing
We're doing
gloves.
hands. We're
Yeah,
putting
you got
multiple
those-
hands together.
What
Extreme
are those
fisting
things
is
that the kids used to have?
Sock 'em
Those
boppers.
Sock 'em boppers.
sock 'em something.
Yeah.
Sock 'em boppers.
Yeah, that thing.
That-
I
That's
would like to
extreme.
Google extreme fisting, but if I wasn't afraid of what would come up,
Right?
and then that's in my history. So.
Why do you want to Google stream it?
No,
To know what the
Google stream it?
Yeah,
You
Google
said Google
extreme
Extreme.
Oh,
Google extreme.
I thought you said I want to Google
let's Google stream it.
Google stream fisting.
What the fuck is Google stream?
I don't know.
what
I
that
thought it was
means.
a new thing.
YouTube has live streams. It's owned by Google. Same thing, right?
God.
he wants to live
originally-
watch some extreme
Originally,
fisting.
they were
Just ask
banning
your mom. Can I borrow your computer?
Just ask your mom. Mom, can you tell me about extreme fisting?
No.
My
It's extreme
mom-
fisting.
Excuse me. My
Just
mom.
Google it on your mom's computer.
mom.
My mom's computer takes an hour to turn on, so
And it goes.
So loading that extreme fisting video
it
is
would
going to take a couple
long
hours.
time. And by that point, she'd be like, "Are you done with my computer?" And then see what's on
You're like,
there.
nope,
and then
sorry.
Here
I'm
you
still
go, Mom.
fixing
then I
it.
just have to start
Turn around,
crying
show her.
because I feel guilty.
Every key is like an inch tall, so it's like click, click.
No, I got her a nice laptop that I thought was nice, but it wasn't nice.
Are you
And
paid like
so-
$200 for it?
$350.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
about
just,
what laptops
Okay, but
are
how
these
long
knock
days.
she
it out.
had it
Just have
for?
something basic.
3 years.
I feel like that's.
It's a no.
But
it's just
anyways,
for basic use, you know.
Anyway,
Yeah,
like
sorry.
Word,
originally,
Excel.
Sorry.
OnlyFans was only banning like scat play, urine play, things
OnlyFans.
like that. OnlyFans, yeah, OnlyFans,
Only bands.
OnlyFans. They were only banning all that shit, and then they said that they were banning anything that was nudity and X-rated on the app that they were releasing. But any fucking mobile device can still go to the browser and pull up OnlyFans the
Yeah.
same way as
Yeah.
everything else, right? Then they doubled down and they're like, yeah, we're banning everything. Like, guess what? Sorry, all of your content creators that have been doing nudes, we're not doing that anymore.
Did you read up on like why the revoking of the revoke happened?
No, I did not
'Cause
read up
what
on
is
their.
OnlyFans
I mean,
without nudity?
Neutery.
nudity.
That was probably banned too.
Euthanasia.
Neutery. Yikes.
that sounds like it's pretty extreme, Tosh.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Maybe that's part of extreme.
So
fisting.
apparently, what was
I think I broke Cara.
what initially was going on was the fact that they were saying that we had to ban this due to restrictions, the same way that Pornhub had to. That MasterCard says, "No way, Jose. If you're using our card, it's not going to be for extreme fisting. It's going to be for buying children on the black market." So there's
Yeah.
like a lot of things.
That's part of the reason why they were banning things in their app too, is because
Wayfair.
Apple has their Apple
I was
has
gonna
their
say the
own
same thing.
rules, and Apple's like, you can't do that on an app here.
Yeah, so they got it all figured out according to what I've seen. They got it figured that like everything figured out with the financial department and the company that they use. So now they're just like, if you want to post your boobs and someone pissing in your mouth, go for it because it's allowed now.
If
Yeah.
you want to be fisted on
Speaking of-
OnlyFans,
You
go
want to be
ahead.
fisted while you're
Fisting.
eating poop? Let's do it.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
It involves
Does it have to do with
It involves
fisting?
being
pissing in my mouth.
no, but
Oh.
it's hilarious.
Okay.
It's about one of your favorite beings.
Uh-oh.
So earlier, Sarah came over to the house. Obviously, we just
okay.
talked about this.
Yeah.
So she brings her dog into the yard, and Abby runs into the backyard.
Oh God, is this a Piper
And-
story?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, favorite beings. I'm like, I don't like Sarah that much.
Nope. So Abby runs into the backyard, and Bo's getting all protective and stuff. So she runs over, and they're following her. Piper and Bo are following her. She squats and she pees, and then both dogs are in there immediately sniffing and everything. And they both turn and they both pee on the ground to make sure that they're covering up Abby's scent. And they both turn to make sure that they're satisfied that the scent is covered. Bo wasn't satisfied, turned around and pissed all over Piper's face.
Oh
Mark comes home and he's like, "Why is her face wet?" So I tell him the story, and he's like, "Did you clean it off?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's why she's wet."
No. That's not how she answered it. I'm like, did you wash her face? She goes, no. That's why her face is wet.
I didn't
And I'm
say
just
no.
like, yes, you did. And I'm like, you just said it now too. And I'm like, what did you clean her face? Because like,
What do you care? Piper's not your dog.
yeah, but I'm sure she's jumping up on him.
I'm just
and-
joking.
I mean, have you seen Piper? She is
Yes.
in your face at all times.
Yes, I have.
And when she's
What?
got piss on her face, I don't want that in my face.
Hot.
Why
yeah,
not?
I was like, Sarah, can you just like go hose her off in the backyard, please?
Just start spraying her in the face.
How many
This is for your own
She's like,
protection.
Piper didn't like that. I'm like, no fucking duh.
How many dogs are at your house right now?
5.
Right now?
6 when she brings Abby over.
Okay, so
How many
wait.
did you take? 9. I took 9.
So you
Wait,
have
so
5
how?
dogs.
Where did the other 3 come from?
Well, so we have Piper and Tally. Nick and Brooklyn have Kaya and Layla that they brought, and then
we
Bo
adopted
we
Oh,
Bo.
Bo was
rescued.
from your
yeah.
aunt, right? Okay.
So you have 5 dogs, 5 humans. and-
4 humans.
humans.
Oh, 4 humans.
4 and 1 in the oven.
Yeah, I would say 1 is on its way soon.
They had a whole argument about building a bassinet today, and Nick's like, why? We're getting a house. And she's like, well, but we need the bassinet put up. And he was like, no, I'm not putting the fucking bassinet together.
The fuck's a bassinet?
It's
It's-
what the baby's going to sleep in.
It's a crib before a crib.
No.
It's like a
just-
little
It's a-
basket that holds up.
Essentially, it's a changing table. Is what it is.
No, it's got edges.
Kara,
It's like
that's
got
what
bigger
it- that's what it
edges.
Get that little
It's-
motherfucker a crib and tell him to shut up.
There's not enough room for a crib right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Throw the baby in
A
the tub and
bassinet
call
is
it
like
a day.
bedside. Makes it easier to have.
It's
a
like an
bed.
end table you put the baby on.
Excuse me.
So, having a baby sounds awful.
Sounds like a lot
Yeah,
of
it
money.
does.
It does.
Yeah,
it,
it does.
does sound
Sounds like
like
a
money.
lot of lost sleep.
Yeah.
Hey, you want how many?
A lot.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, once you already have one, you're not sleeping. You might as well have the rest
Yeah,
of
just
them.
keep
Hey,
going.
I figured out how to
Ugh.
sleep through Kara snores. I can sleep through baby screams. All right. And
That
Well, you
you're
don't
not going to sleep through
He
it.
screams.
I just leave him be.
He's fine.
Fine.
Yeah, he'll shut up.
On top of that,
He's starving, but he'll be fine.
We've already had newborns in the house with us, and I was irate at a lot of times, but I was able to sleep through most of it.
Poor Cara.
When I needed
so
to.
she gets
It's
to
not
deal
her
with
problem.
the babies?
It's not her problem either. Let the
No,
baby
we're
cry it
talking
out.
about
No,
when
when
it's
she
our
has a
children.
baby.
Let the baby cry it out. It'll be fine.
Not when they have to pee or when they're
They got
diapers
What are you
full.
talking about? When they have to
when
pee?
they
just
have
shit all
when they
over
have a full
themselves.
diaper, when they're hungry, or
Look, child, you're gonna get on an easy schedule just like a normal human. All right.
babies can't do that.
Morning, noon, and night. Nothing else.
That's right. Shut up. Go to bed and you'll like it when I tell you to.
You suck on titties on your time, not mine. Okay.
Scoot over. It's my turn.
Ew.
Ew.
Full
Yeah,
of Jim Carrey.
yeah, that's fucking gross. Yeah, yucky. I don't like milk to begin with, let alone milk excreting from my fucking woman. Ugh.
Are you okay?
He grossed himself out.
Yeah, that's fucking gross.
He's shuddering.
Well, as much as I'd love this one to be 2 hours long, I do have to work in the morning. You know, I have to say real quick, I don't think people understand the amount of time and effort to just sit down and bullshit with your friends. You know?
What do you mean?
Like, it's first of all, we had to coordinate a time to get here today.
Yeah.
Then we had to get here.
Yeah.
And then we had to come down here and talk for an hour.
Yeah.
And now we got to like coordinate how I'm going to fucking edit this in my busy ass schedule this week because Tasha's mom's in town and then get it uploaded and yada, yada, yada. There's a lot that goes into this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Fox.
And it's literally just us bullshitting for an hour. What? What's wrong?
None of us ever really think about you editing the shit.
Yeah, that's true.
No, because you just do it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would offer to help, and I have offered to help. I offered to help in year 1 and 2.
No, I'm not
But-
saying you haven't.
But you're the audio guy.
I'm not saying you guys.
he likes
I'm
doing
talking
it. Don't
like,
let him fool you.
I didn't
He
say
does.
I didn't.
He's
I'm
just saying it's a
there's
lot of effort
there's like
put
things.
forth to do
So
this.
it's just like our relationship. This is everything that I do. And this is everything that you do.
Yeah, and Vox is putting forth a lot of effort right now.
Yeah, not to
He
punch
should
her in
be
the face.
rewarded. He should be rewarded before your mother gets into town.
This is what happens when we do this so late.
That's the other thing I was gonna say. It's late at night and people don't. And on a
And we've all had
You
long
can't
days.
tell the difference.
yeah, you don't know, but I mean, it's
Natasha's probably had a couple.
One.
One.
I've had a couple.
She asked me to take. Well, she asked us to take shots with her, but
Yeah, well, it's
we
you know,
should have.
it's 11
shots,
o'clock at night on a Wednesday, so it's like,
Yeah.
Hump
You're not
day.
supposed to tell those secrets, Fox.
well, I mean,
They think that
Do you
we're
remember back in the
releasing-
day when we
They think
dated
we
these
record
things?
this Monday morning
Yeah,
and release
it's
it Monday
5
morning.
o'clock on a Saturday. 9 o'clock? 5 o'clock.
There was a lot of times that we did it like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, but we did it on a Saturday.
We
and
did it
then
for
they
Sunday
would spend the
brunches,
night,
too.
Or which
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that Sunday brunch.
mimosas.
The other thing I want to
Popping
say
the
fuck are we doing
champagne
that,
on
by
the
the way?
podcast.
before we wrap up here, I have a list of games that I am preparing. I know that you're Game Master 3000 over here, but things just keep falling out of my ass, and I have to get them rolling.
I don't want to play
I'd
with
love
the
to
things
play
that
your
fell out of
butt
your ass.
games.
Yes.
Are we
they're-
playing them on the podcast or playing on Patreon?
It's the same thing. So,
No, it's not.
yes, it is.
I thought we were doing.
But we're
Patreon
recording it,
exclusive
but we're only
stuff.
releasing it on there.
It's all going to be one episode. I'm going to cut the end of the episode off, and if you want to hear the end of the episode, you have to be a patron.
Yeah, because all of it's going to have the music, which has to be on there.
Oh, we can't just
Yeah.
do separate.
any of it has
Patreon
music.
exclusive episodes.
No. I mean, we totally could, but that's just more effort. That's,
That's logistical.
I
yeah.
feel like that's not that hard, but
Okay, you edit them.
okay. Show me how.
Anyways, bitches,
We're
thanks
proud of
for
you, Vox. You
fucking
do a great
listening.
job.
Thank
Games
you
are
for
coming.
everything you do, Vox.
Games are coming. I got some good ones. Some of them I stole from TikTok, but I think they'd be really fun to play.
Yeah.
Like,
be ready for Vox's butt games.
Oh, there's like a lot of video stuff that we could do.
Yes.
from
Are we
those
gonna do a
TikTok
crate
games I
challenge?
love.
yeah, a what?
Crate challenge.
I don't know what that is.
No, we're not fucking
What do you mean
doing
you don't
that.
know what that is? We just talked about it
Just
last
talked
week.
about
It's called
it.
sarcasm. Good job.
You planning on closing this out, Tosh?
Oh, do I have to? Oh, thank you for listening. Did you pause it already? Or are you done?
No, I was
Oh,
just going to
okay.
see how far I was going to go. Because there's huge gaps of silence now. They're just like
Yes.
very vivid.
Well,
the
thanks for.
timeline.
I forgot that I was leading this episode. Thanks for listening. We appreciate everyone who's listened to this. I'm Natasha.
Eh.
I'm Cara.
Thank you. Someone supports me. Goodbye.
Bye.